this away.
What's up, everybody? Here we are again with another episode of the 12th Man Podcast. You already know we got Blaine in the Inter Milan. They got me, Brooks, in a hoodie and a PSG hat. So let's get this started. I like that Blaine's wearing the Inter, even though I really kind of wish that Ibra would have scored today to give them the 2-1 win. But did you watch that game?
Man, I wish Lautaro would have scored to give Inter the 2-1 when you shut up right now.
Yeah, it was a pretty packed stadium. Did you see the videos and pictures? It looks like a place to be right now in Milan. Yeah. So I'm happy that it was so packed.
Yeah, they were having a blast in Milan today. Families divided, neighborhoods in shambles, but a 1-1 result is probably the best outcome for everybody.
Really is. I mean, Napoli's still holding it down in first place. AC Milan is second, Inter in third. So
yeah. Well, I was going to say most of all Napoli. It's mostly the best for them.
You see the jerseys they came out with today?
No. So I saw on footy headlines that they were doing something special, but I'll be honest, I didn't.
Maradona right here.
Okay, that's what I heard. Does it look good?
Looks good. It looks really good. I mean, yeah, it looks good. Let me just say this, and I'm probably going to go in too far with this, but I'm Argentine, so I already like him. But having said that, I feel like we give a lot of credit to this man who was wasn't the greatest person in the world, So it's a little difficult on some aspects. People are like, oh, you gotta separate the artist from what they do personally. And I'm like, not in 2021, man. We gotta make sure that we're sticking true to, we're not going to the World Cup in next year. So, we got to hold our line somewhere. But anyway, yeah, it was nice. It was a good tribute. It looked cool. I liked the other one last year where it was the Argentina stripes, the blue and white. But I've never seen a man's face on a jersey, so it was pretty cool.
Okay, I'm compelled to actually
look it up. Google this.
Take a second.
Google this.
I'm compelled to take a look.
So while you're Googling, Inter AC, they drew 1-1. So Napoli's holding it down at number 1 still at the end of Serie A. I just got to give a real big shout out to Arsenal, 5th place in the Prem. Who would have thought with that awful start, 3 losses in a row, losing 5-0 to Man City, that they'd be in 5th place going into this international break right now. So hats off to the boys, to Mikel.
Good job.
Emil Smith Rowe 3 goals in a row in 3 games. Bukayo Osaka, I don't know how that was offside. Everything's looking up.
Yeah, crazy offside call. I still don't understand that rule. I don't get it, but yeah, shout out to Arsenal. Also, going into the international break in 5th, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Liverpool, West Ham, Manchester, Chelsea. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Chelsea's first. So we gotta let you. Yeah. So your boys are up top, which is good for you. They drew, right?
This man.
Hey, listen, first place though. First place.
Yeah, they drew. They dropped points and they shouldn't have. And Man City made a mockery of United. Arsenal did their thing on the day. Be honest, I watched the whole game. I was texting my dad the whole time.
Okay.
Stoked for Gunners. But West Ham,
man, this is crazy.
Can we agree that West Ham is a club that everybody can get behind?
Yes.
I feel like West Ham is like Leicester. They're it's like there's if you hate West Ham, you hate football. That's there's not a player on the team to hate.
No.
You can't hate the coach.
No.
You can't. There's nothing to hate. They blow bubbles and play all the show tunes at full time. I'm just happy for West Ham. They're obviously not going to win the league.
Right.
They don't have the depth. But the fact if they finish the year in the top 4 and don't fall off after the second half, I'm just hats off. They beat Liverpool. It was beautiful.
Yes. And so as an Arsenal fan, everybody knows, I was just honestly, I know it's not even halfway through the season, but I was looking at the schedule at the very last column where it says 0 losses. And I was like, please let someone beat Liverpool so that they're not gonna so that Arsenal stays the only team to ever go unbeaten. And so I was looking in the schedule. I was like, 2 weeks from now, Arsenal could be the ones to beat them, but West Ham did it. So I'm very happy that they're not going to go undefeated. That's all I really cared about this week.
But David Moyes gave him the lock and combination, or the combination to the code.
Yeah, if you watch that game, you know how to beat them now.
Yeah, so, Mikel ain't no dummy. He'll figure it out.
But like, just to go back to West Ham, like that's really something that's great for football. I love to see it. I love to see that it's a London team, and it's David Moyes. Man, U's got to be kicking themselves right now, because if they just gave him time, imagine what he could be doing with that squad. We've talked about that too much.
Over the face. Yeah, we do. Okay, I checked out the jersey though. So what is this? A thumbprint with his face and image in it?
So yeah, it's like an 8-bit graphic.
Yeah, man, it's like, it looks like something from like Super Mario on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or just the Nintendo. Okay, it's cool though. It's a good color. I like the dark blue too.
So
are they gonna play in them?
Color. What?
Are they gonna play in them?
Yeah.
Okay, they got my man Bakayoko and Dries Mertens modeling them on the homepage. Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be against Verona, Inter, and Lazio are gonna be who they wear them against. To be honest, like, people sleep on Napoli. I know that I don't know if anybody saw this HBO special about Maradona, but it's really eye-opening, specifically to the city of Napoli and the club. I've spent some time in there, not a ton of time. Like, I spent like a day there with Chad. But Napoli is a pretty incredible city. You kind of feel like you're cheating death. You kind of feel like you might not make it out of there alive, but it's also beautiful in that. Yeah, and
is it the driving?
No, it's the grit. It's got a pretty great grittiness to it.
Okay, it's a grimy city. Okay.
Yeah, but so that's like what Italians, or specifically Northern Italians, hate about it. They're like, we're like beautiful, we're clean, we're like northern, like you're some southern trash that are like, they just go in on hatred for them. It's not okay. But I kind of love that, because like, son of an immigrant woman, I kind of embrace like the hatred here and there. But supposedly the best pizza in the world, we had it there. And so the crazy thing with Napoli is like, so let me just see where I was going with this. You look at this jersey. It's like, hold on. You got like an Italian water company sponsoring it. You got Armani sponsoring like the actual making the shirt, it looks like. And then you got this 8-bit graphic of
Diego.
Diego. That's all you gotta say is Diego. That speaks volumes. But to be honest, their shirts every year are pretty hot.
I got a keeper. I got a David Ospina keeper kit.
Do you really?
3 seasons ago, yeah.
I mean, they're kind of sleeper kids. I feel like they're pretty.
It got like
good
eagles on it, bro. It has like eagles on it.
Oh, you got that one.
Yeah, it's the craziest. It's probably the craziest kit in my collection.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with it.
That's
I was
so
like,
funny.
I can't just leave it here, but I also can't
be seen in public
in the streets. Yeah.
Like with my Nike jumpsuit that I have, that I'm like, I can only wear this at home.
Exactly. For indoor use only at the house.
Yeah. No, but their kits are always fire. That's what I'm trying to get at. I mean, the last, and they always have really good limited edition. Like the last year one where they had, when Maradona died, they did the blue and white for like, just a shout out to like the Argentina jersey that he wore with pride. Man, that thing was amazing. The sizing on it's crazy because it was Kappa.
Yeah.
But real quick, I mean, this is probably going nowhere, but shout out to Kappa. So Grace looked up why it's two. She thought it was two women Kappa, but it's actually a man and a woman, and they're representing like equality in football. Like everyone's welcome, everyone's invited. So I have no issues with Kappa jerseys. I like the message they're spreading.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew that, but every once in a while as a kid, we would get Kappa cleats instead of Adidas or Nike.
Kappa and Diadora would be like the odd throw-ins.
Yeah, I've never had Diadora, but I wouldn't mind.
Diadora was fire in like 7th grade. Diadora was it.
Man, I still remember like wearing Diadora trainers, like just like regular shoes, but never had like the cleats. Never even saw them to buy, to be honest.
Where were you at the time?
Turkey. I mean, I don't know if there were sanctions. I don't know.
We had them in California, but yeah, turkey made out of whatever turkey produced at that time was probably what turkey was selling.
Yeah, so the distinction is like in high school, Diodora trainers, but as a
Okay,
kid
okay,
coming
okay.
up,
Yeah.
uh, but Kappa, we had Kappa cleats every once in a while as kids. So
Okay.
that's just, if anyone, I don't want to confuse anybody
I
about it.
flipped it. I would always see the Diodora. I never seen. I think to this day, I've still probably never seen a Kappa cleat in person.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but Kappa's kind of picked up a little bit of heat right now. I know they sell Kappa at Nordstrom, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Target had like kid Kappa cleats at like the
Target?
Target. I think so. It might have been Puma, but it was
Hmm.
like or no, let me correct myself. It was Umbro. It was
Okay,
like a
that makes sense.
legacy like football manufacturer, but it was Umbro. Now I remember.
Oh, because Kappa's big in the streetwear game right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they got it. Like you go to Nordstrom, they got like a whole
Yeah.
like section just like I got my Kappa. I got my Kappa. You know the hoodies, the pants with like all the logos up and down them. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
I can't do it, but it's hard. Like I see someone, I'm like, yo, that's fine. That's
Yeah, it
funny.
just
You know,
reminds me
the
of
Kappa
Jack
with the
Grealish
Gucci
now.
slides.
Yeah. I think they
What?
even sell it on Essence right now, or however you say that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I could be wrong.
Okay, I bet you're not. Okay, well, enough pre
Yeah.
episode chit chat. Today, it's that time of year. We're in November. End of the year's coming up. We got the awards. You know, it's award season. Ballon d'Or, FIFA the best or the best FIFA or whatever it is. And you know the internet's heating up, the talks are getting hot, the pundits are debating over who's got it and who shouldn't, who should have had a shot. I saw Rio Ferdinand
Oh,
disparaging the Chelsea midfielder for even being on the list.
really?
Jorginho. He was like, how's Jorginho ahead of N'Golo Kante? Best player in the world. He's not even the best player on his team, club, or country. So people get, they get
Yeah,
a
they get
little
heated.
upset.
Yeah, they do. They really do. I
You
mean,
got
just to be fair, is N'Golo Conte the best on his club and country team? I don't think so.
I mean, if you're talking about the whole year, so for Chelsea, we don't win the Champions League without N'Golo Kante. That's facts. Now,
Well,
could
do
did
you
he
win
play
without
great?
Jorginho?
He
He
didn't.
took every penalty. Made probably every penalty too, right?
Well, he made. Yeah, I mean that's facts. I'm not saying like no,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
no
yeah.
means am I saying that
Yeah, right.
Jorginho is not a good player and not deserving to
Mhm.
be on the list. I'm just saying Rio Ferdinand was upset.
Right,
But
yeah.
I do agree that Jorginho is not the best player on Chelsea,
I agree
and he's
too.
not the best player for the Italian national team.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I'm not saying N'Golo Kante is the best player. I'm just saying, I mean, he might he might have been the most important player in terms of well that's tough because we had a good goalkeeper. We
Man,
had
your
Thiago
goalkeeper
Silva.
should be the one on
Yeah,
that list.
yeah. I mean, keep it all the way 100. He really should be
He
on the
really should
list.
be.
He should. I mean, I say we didn't win the Champions League without N'Golo Kante, but we also didn't win it without. We didn't win the league or the Champions League without Jorginho. We also didn't win it without Edouard Mendy
Right.
or Thiago Silva. So
Or
like
Kai
there's
Havertz.
I mean, he scored the goal. Mason Mount played the ball, right?
Yeah. I just like to put out there. I just for as much as I don't like Chelsea, just watching them play, that was like a complete team effort to win that Champions League. I just feel like you can't really pick any one person and be like it was them or it was them or it was, no. Like I just feel like that was a really great display of like team unity, team effort,
Yeah.
putting it all out there as like a unit to win that Champions League. That was just like a really great thing to see. So
Yeah.
Eduardo Mendy, though, I mean, Eduardo Mendy, that he just as soon as he came into the lineup, it's just noticeable night and day. He made a huge difference for that team.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like if we're talking so like and like here's the thing, like if you get caught in the nuance, like if you're talking like Ballon d'Or, what does it mean to win a Ballon d'Or? Because like if you look like we're talking Chelsea now and I know Chelsea in and out.
Right.
If we're talking most valuable player on Chelsea, without a doubt, Eduardo Mendy.
Okay.
It's the same way like before Liverpool started winning silver, these like in the last 3-4 years. Like you could either take Alisson Becker or Virgil van Dijk and say like whether or not they're the best player on the team, you could debate it. But most valuable player, you don't get anything done. Like, you might score 200 goals that season, but you're still coming in second place if Van Dijk's not anchoring your defense.
Which happened because when he was out for 8 months or whatever,
Yeah.
they couldn't do it.
Yeah, so I mean, and like we're not gonna flame the awards because that's not what we're here for. But like to say like the best player versus the most valuable player, like if you got a guy that's making made a block and you win the game 1-0,
Yeah.
who was the more valuable player? The guy that saved the shot or the guy that scored it?
Yeah.
Or the midfield that it's like let me just go on the record and say this: I hate individual awards in team sports.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but I hate it because it's so. I feel like it fosters an attitude of selfishness, which the only players that really do need to be selfish are strikers. But at the same time,
I mean, this should be called the striker award or the scoring goal award because I don't know if we're going there yet, but you sent me a list of players. Every single one of these players, it's like the main contenders, it's their goal scorers, or in the case of De Bruyne / Messi, goal creators. So I don't know when the last time, maybe we could look this up, but when was the last time that a defender won it?
A defender?
Or a keeper. Anyone that's not a front, like an attacking player. Because, I mean, you said it, like Conte, Jorginho, like, I would take Conte on my team so fast.
Yeah.
But he's not a goal scoring machine or even much of a creator. Like, he's kind of like a Marco Verratti in a sense that he brings everyone together. He'll fight hard for every single ball. He's going to go out there defensively and put it all out on the line. But, I mean, it's just, I'm with you. Like, this award is very much like who went out there and... What do you say?
So I think I'm looking, I got it pulled up here, and it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, the last non-striking player to win was, I just lost it. Oh yeah, 2006, Cannavaro from Real Madrid.
The Italian
center back.
But the year they won
World Cup winner,
Cup, right? Yeah.
World Cup winner.
I mean, he was incredible, but I feel like that's ahead of, I mean, even 2006, it's so funny to say that I feel like that's like most people watching this wouldn't really be able to think back to 06, but this dude was was amazing, was unstoppable, was actually a lead like marketing campaign for Nike. Like he was in those main commercials with some of the best players in the world, Ronaldo being on one of those ads too. This dude was good.
I remember that. Yeah. I still watch those commercials to this day.
And that was the era that when Spain started to take over. Right after that World Cup, they won the Euros, then they won the World Cup, then they won the Euros. But yeah, Cannavaro was amazing. That dude was amazing.
Yeah, he was a baller.
Yeah, like a Sergio Ramos, but like leveled up.
Yeah,
Just,
Yeah, still got it, man. He's a cool dude too. He's a cool dude too. Okay, yeah, and before this, I didn't know that. I'll admit, I didn't know that he won the Ballon d'Or in 2006.
So do you have a prediction of who you think is going to win it this year? Or who do you want to win it, or who do you think will win it, or who should win it?
Yeah,
I have my prediction.
Yeah, so I mean, me personally, so looking at the statistics, letting my own bias in, I personally, like with no disrespect to any of the defensive-minded players or the guys that contribute in ways that aren't really quantifiable for a statistician. Robert Lewandowski, the Pole, I personally think he would be my number one pick. I mean, so this might upset people. Firstly, I mean, granted, he won the FIFA Best in 2020, but there was no Ballon d'Or, so I feel like a lot of people are going to still be basing.
So you're one of those that it's like, I made the wrong call. Let me now make it up on this next call.
Well, I mean, I have stuff to complement that,
Hmm.
so I preface that to say I think a lot of people that are voting at the Ballon d'Or are going to be taking that into consideration. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, like Mbappe didn't, he did this in the previous season. He made it to, a Champions League final. Like all the work that they did at PSG that, ultimately meant nothing because of what Bayern did. So I feel like a lot of that's going to be happening, but that aside, the only reason that I would pick Lewandowski this year is mostly because of his goal involvement for the records that he broke in the Bundesliga. Um, Gerd Miller's record of most goals in that league. What he does for Poland, winning games, scoring
Hold
goals.
on, but Poland. I mean, what does he with Poland? He can't even get them into like any contention really in any of these international competitions.
And for me, like the fact that he's scoring goals against the top 10
Well, he
European
should be.
teams. Well, but look at the supporting cast. Like I couldn't name more than 3 people on the Polish national team. The
But then,
fact that he
yeah,
can the fact that he can still walk into that squad and score a goal against Portugal or Germany. I mean, I guess that's a testament to how good he is, and that doesn't necessarily mean you deserve to be a Ballon d'Or recipient. But for me, I like if I'm looking out across all. Let's just keep it 100. I'm only talking about attacking players. Like, do
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Robert Lewandowski's been better in his position in scoring goals than Cristiano Ronaldo? Without doubt. Do I think he's been better than Karim Benzema, who I personally like a lot? Yeah. Do I
Okay, but
think
what
he's
about
better than
Messi?
him? I'll get there. I mean, yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
Be honest, yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, in turn, so this year, up until right now, yes, Robert Lewandowski has delivered, in my opinion, at a higher level than the
Even when you
sacred
look at the
lead.
stats that you sent me.
Well, these stats they're dated. Like I think these stats were like through October, maybe. They're
So
not. They're
they're
not.
not even a full month dated, basically.
It looks like this came out, yeah, early October. So, I mean, there's been an international break since then. There's been 2 rounds of Champions League since then. At least 6 league games, a few cup games. I mean, that's my vote, man. I'm rolling with
Okay.
that. I mean, looking at these stats, like, yeah, if you compare Lewandowski to Messi, goal involvements, he's one above.
He's a
Offensive
percentage point
contributions,
above, right? Is that
no. For goal involvements, he's at 44 involvements. Messi's at 43.
okay?
30 goals for Messi, 13 assists. Lewandowski, 40 goals, 4 assists.
Hmm.
Different kind of player, but we're counting attacking. Offensive contribution, Messi 60%, Lewandowski just under 50. Expected goals, which I mean, this stat I could really care
Yeah,
less.
it's really weird. I don't get like what do you what how like it. So does the mean I feel like if expected goals is lower, but you've got the same amount of goals, like then that should be better for you because you're scoring these goals out of nowhere. You're pulling it out of your pocket, right? I don't understand expected goals. That doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense to me.
I think the argument would be that you are putting yourself in better positions and maybe that's a more desirable thing, but for Messi to have an XG of 20 but still have 40 goals.
Right.
Or I guess he has an XG of 20 and has 30 goals.
Hmm.
So he's scored 10 more goals out of situations that he shouldn't have, whether those have come
Yeah.
from free kicks, penalties.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's we don't have the data, whereas Lewandowski has an XG of 37 and a half,
Yeah.
and he's scored, just about 7 goals more than what that was. So, but
And
then
on
we look
this
at the other
list,
stats.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if we look at the other stats though, so I mean, Messi, expected assist, approach passes plus carries. I mean, those stats. I
XG
mean,
over performance. What is that? I don't know what I'm
no
looking
clue. Yeah, I don't.
at.
So So let's see. XG, expected goals,
Expected goals. It
assist.
says expected goals, expected scored assisted goals according to average shot conversion probability. That just means like, yo, if he's shooting from here, he shouldn't be scoring. Oh, he scored. You
Yeah, so
know?
he's overperforming, which I mean that makes sense
Yeah.
because his XG is 10, basically 10 points lower than what he actually produced.
Yeah. The only one that
Which
has a lower one is De Bruyne, who doesn't. I mean, no, he doesn't score really. These is
yeah, it's not
9
his.
in a season in a year, versus
Yeah,
30, versus 40 to Lewandowski, 27 to Ronaldo.
which to be fair, I mean I love Kevin De Bruyne as
Mm.
much as the next guy. This year has not been his year.
Yeah,
I
specifically this
honestly don't
season
even know why he's
too.
on. Yeah, I don't know why he's on this chart. He's
Yeah.
not even the standout player for Manchester. Like if you look at
No.
Bernardo Silva, if you look at or even Ilk, like I mean it's hard because we're looking at the tail end of one season, the start of one season in a European or Copa America competition in the summer, but
And he was hurt a
Ilkay
bit.
Gundogan,
Yeah.
huh?
I said, and De Bruyne was hurt a bit. Well, I guess he's
Yeah,
always hurt.
lately he's been pretty injury prone, but Ilkay Gundogan
Yeah, totally.
might have been the best player last season. Bernardo Silva is hands down the best player on Manchester City, right? He's single-handedly playing the false 9, the
Yeah.
false 8, the false 10, false 7, tracking back, dude. Like he's like like I don't like Bernardo Silva at all, but he's doing the
The
whole he's
Portuguese
running the
boys
whole
on
show.
Man City are coming through for Pep right now.
Yo, Cancelo, Diaz, and
Cancelo is
Silva,
unbelievable.
like those three guys single-handedly are keeping City in the running.
Yeah.
All like, and that's hey, and that's I don't even like half of those guys. I only like Diaz, but I can't even front. Like, like, well, where's Bernardo's? And that's the. Can I say something though before we move on? And that's why I don't like this award. I don't like annual awards. I don't like annual statistics. Like you remember Wilfried Boney that played
Yeah.
for Swansea,
Yeah.
and then he got signed to Manchester City, and there was like nobody scored more goals this year in the Premier League than Wilfried Boney. And it was like, okay, because half of the players that you're looking at were transferred in the summer and the other half got transferred out in the spring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate that because it's like it's so hard to like, oh yeah, like he had a good end of the season and won this award, but he had a terrible start to the season or he got injured because he played, 65 games for club and country and he was at the tail end. But anyway, that's how I feel. My official vote for the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA best would be one Robert Lewandowski
Okay.
from Bayern Munich and the Polish men's national team. How do you feel?
What's the second
What do you
place
think?
for you? Because there's three. Right? Do you get to vote for two players or three each
Yeah, I
player?
mean,
I
yeah, you
forget.
could do two players. Honestly, I mean, I guess if I was being realistic, I would give Messi a shout for second place. I
Okay.
mean, I mean, just looking at the numbers here, these 30 goals, at this point, looking at this information, all 30 of those goals would have come from the tail end of La Liga, right? He was still playing in a broken Barcelona team, and some of those goals would have come from the Copa America. None of those goals here are really coming from his PSG time at
No.
all because,
He came late. Yeah, he's been hurt a bit. He hasn't scored. Also, like he's only scored in Champions League for them. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, basically the goals there are non-existent. 13 assists. He won an award against all odds. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. Argentina won that award, and Messi played a vital part of that team winning that award,
Yeah.
the Copa America. But I mean, for the same reason that I would say somebody like a Conte or Jorginho deserves to get recognition is the same reason that I'm saying or Messi for me would be my number two.
Okay. Okay.
Number three, I mean, honestly, I mean, for me, I think so. Granted, like who won? I think yeah, it was Atletico Madrid won La Liga, but
Lille
personally,
won PSG, won France, Ligue 1.
yep. And then we already know what happened in England, and then like you look at other people, it's just like a lot of people had a good last into their season in great summer tournaments, but like no one's out the gate running. Like the only person on this list that hit the ground running this season is Cristiano Ronaldo and Lewandowski and Karim Benzema. I guess Mbappe too, to be fair, but
Yeah.
man, I just gotta be honest. For me, I'm leaning Benzema.
Okay.
He didn't really show up for France. He always shows up for Madrid.
He has some pretty good goals this season for France, though. I mean, he took over Olivier's spot. He scored a couple in the Euros.
Yeah, he had some great goals. He had the best goal of the Euros, in my opinion. He took that ball with his foot, drug it around the back.
Glued to his foot.
Yeah, so, but, like, I guess France didn't go the distance. But for me, I mean, if I'm being honest, if I'm picking, Lewandowski, Messi, Karim Benzema.
Okay.
And that's the order.
Okay.
That's the order.
Okay.
Nice. Now you go so I can poke holes in your theories.
So you already know I'm going Messi. Because, I mean, I don't know if this stat will be up in the video, but I mean, he's highlighted on every single, I mean, there's 2 that he's not highlighted on, really. Expected goals, which should be a highlight because he came out of nowhere and scored these goals anyway. He's nowhere near the more minutes played versus, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Benzema. Obviously, so here's my thing. I think in America with NBA, what is it? The MVP is, they tell you, right? It's like, you have to be the best player on the best team. Isn't that the rule or something? With an MVP in the national basketball?
NBA, man, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know.
Okay, so the reason I bring that up is because obviously Messi played for Barcelona last season, and it's arguably a better team this season. I would say they pick up a Memphis. They got Aguero. Messi's really the only one that left, right? I don't know anyone else that left. Ansu Fati's back in form, scoring goals for them. They're awful. I mean, they're what are they, 9th right now? I think at this international break they're 9th place.
They're 9th. They are definitely 9th place. I'll check that today.
What did they end the season last season in? 3rd? 2nd?
I'm pretty sure it was 3rd because it was both Madrid teams fighting for the.
I think you're right.
The title.
And it was pretty, like, Messi, Barcelona had it to lose. We talked about this, and it was like, it's Barca's to lose. They lost it. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is, like, this dude clearly had a massive role to play for a team that can't even barely break the top 10 in La Liga this year. So it's just, basically what I'm saying is, like, he played a very, very, very large role in this team who's literally nothing without him.
I mean, so I could be the devil's advocate here, and I feel like I got to do this. So, one, the team's a year older. Busquets' legs are shot.
Busquets' legs been shot.
They're even more shot now after running the double pivot for Spain, after captaining Spain in a Euros where they went the distance, and you're gonna get mad at this, a UEFA Nations Cup where they also went the distance, or whatever, Spain, whatever that cup was that they lost that no one cares about, to France. So you got the 3 senior players, they've all gotten a year older. The coach arguably has gotten worse. The situation and pressure on the players has become, like, just imagine the void. Messi leaves.
That's what I'm telling you. You just said it for me. Perfect.
No,
perfect.
But I'm saying they're it's not because he's not on the field. It's just like he left. The club is in chaos.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor of the city, Gerard Piqué, is telling the senior players they need to, cut their wages. The coach is a moron. You know what I'm saying? They fired him. Yeah. So I'm just saying the circumstances around this. I mean, granted, yeah, any team's going to perform worse when Messi comes, but for the same degree. Okay, I'm not even going to get into it.
No, you're good.
Okay, PSG, are they performing better or worse because of Messi's being there this season?
Well, I mean, they're in first, and they're top of the...
But because of Messi's contribution to the team, are they scoring goals when he's on the field or off the field?
In Champions League, they're scoring goals.
I said the league.
Oh, the league. So Ligue 1.
Yes. Uber Eats. Shout out to Uber Eats, man.
No.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying I don't think Messi's a good player. I put him number 2 on the list. I'm just saying I feel like there are circumstances around Barcelona this season.
Okay. That's fine.
But keep going. But keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You got
That,
Messi.
I mean, that's one of my
going.
reasons. Is like you look at how drastically bad they are this year, like without him. Anyway, and the other thing is like, I mean, he won an international trophy with the national. I mean, he won a trophy with the national team. He won it.
He did.
I mean, and it wasn't the UEFA friendly league in the Nations League. No offense. It was against one of the best teams in the world, Brazil.
Yeah.
You know,
in Brazil. That's important. That's important.
He had a huge role in every single one of those games, except for the final. I will say he was a little bit absent in the final. Shout out to Di Maria. But I think that, I mean, this is an entirely different topic, but Argentina is not a great national team in the last few years. They're finally finding their footing again and like becoming a team that I think that they should have been these last few years. But it's not an incredible team. Di Maria he's one of my favorite players in the history of football, as you know. Lautaro Martinez, I think, is finally coming into his own and finding his feet in the national team. So, but I do think that Messi had a huge role to play aside from the final, which we're just going to kind of wipe that from it. However, I think that when you look at these stats, it's just really hard to. I mean, these stats are weird, but when you look at them, he highlights everyone except for 2.5. I just don't like if it's stat for stat, then it should be Messi. If it's goals and only goals, it should be Lewandowski, who would be my second. But it's hard to say Lewandowski because all he does is score a goal. And we kind of had this conversation when we had the podcast a few weeks back, maybe a couple months back, about who's better, Ronaldo or Messi. I can't get on the boat of someone being better because they score more goals. The reason that I think Messi is so much better than anyone else in the world is because he scores, more goals last year than Ronaldo is at 27, Messi is at 30, Mbappe is at 25. Like, he not only scores goals, but he creates goals and he has more assists than anyone else on this list. So it's just really hard for me to be like, oh, well, you scored a bunch of goals, so you should win it. Because no, that's not true. Like, we talked about this, before we started to say who the best is. It's, it shouldn't just be, the goal scoring award. That's kind of what it's turned into in the last, basically since Messi and Ronaldo have come into their prime since 09 or 08 or whatever. So I just love that he not only scores, but he creates, and he clearly makes the team better. Aside from in the Uber Eats league, it doesn't seem like he's had that big of an effect on it yet. But I just think that overall, you can't, in my opinion, really argue with what he brings to any team that he's on and all these stats that we're seeing in front of the table. However, I mean, and it's just hard because Lewandowski is literally on the best team in the world. But when you see him play for Poland, then he'll score a goal or so. But it's what people used to say about Messi. Like, oh, well, Messi scores all these goals because he's got Xavi, he's got Iniesta. You take Lewandowski away from Bayern and he doesn't score a goal a game. He doesn't score 2 or 3 goals a game. He'll get a goal every couple games. So it's just hard.
Are you talking about him for Poland?
Yeah.
No, he scores consistently for Poland.
He doesn't score a goal a game. He doesn't score 2 goals a game like he does for Bayern. Hey, listen, he's amazing, but like that Bayern team is one of the best teams ever put. That's why I went to watch Benfica versus Bayern when I was in Portugal, because I wanted to see one of the greatest teams ever assembled, like the Barca teams of 09, like of 2011. Like it feels like that. We're watching something incredible when we see this Bayern team step out on the field. And Lewandowski is part of that. And it's crazy that he's the age he's at and still performing.
I'm going to give you a stat right here. I'm going to give you a stat, and maybe this will change your mind. All right, so Robert Lewandowski for the Polish national team. He has played 127 games.
No, but in 2021, which this award is.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. So let's pull up the stats, because I just want to keep you.
It's just
honest,
like, what does Poland ever do? And people used to say the same thing about Argentina. That's
all right,
the only reason I bring it up is because people said this about Messi every
Let me give you the stats. Then
let me
give you the stats then.
Okay.
So this calendar year, 2021, my man Lewandowski has played 11 games for Poland. How many goals would he have to score for you to say that he is worthy to be a competitor with Messi or whoever in that regard saying that if he only scores goals, what would be his?
It would have to be at least a goal a game, and then judging by these stats, an assist every other game.
Okay. So playing for Poland, he would have to have 11 goals in 11 games.
At least. Yeah.
Okay. He only has 9, which to me, that's 9 goals. That's still way more goals than a bunch of European strikers that play on elite European teams. That's more goals than Benzema this year, most likely. That's more goals than Mbappe. That's more goals than, I mean, I don't know, you'll laugh if I say Antoine Griezmann, but it's more goals than Harry Kane.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not on this list.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, I mean, I don't have the chart in front of you. I personally think if you can score 9 goals in UEFA, playing for Poland, I mean, come on, man. That's good. That's good. In this calendar year for him to have...
You have the stat up, right? Tell me who the first 3 goals were that he scored against. Because on the bottom it shows that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there should be a calendar on here. It
It'll
might
show.
not be for him, but if I go to Poland, it will show all the caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If one of those says Gibraltar, I'm turning off the camera. Also,
well,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I mean, we're gonna do that.
North Macedonia, and this show's over. But just to be fair, like there are people on this list, or there are people that are not on this list that I think we should be talking about. So like, I think again, like going into like team and like bringing them into like playing better and doing better and going the distance. Like Phil Foden should be somewhere near this. I think that Phil Foden had an incredible 2021. I think Bukayo Saka, like people are gonna laugh. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal finished number 10. They would have finished like 15 if there was no Bukayo Saka. England wouldn't have made it as far as England made it without Bukayo Saka. I mean, I know there's a golden boy, so they probably don't really care to put those young Phil Fodens and Bukayo Sakas in there. But Jadon Sancho was sold for, 80 mil? You can't even get 20 minutes. But Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden should be the ones being talked about as far as like the young guns that should be up on this main contender award. I mean, Phil Foden made it to the Champions League final. They made it to the final of Europa League. That's you can't sleep on that, you know?
I don't. I don't. It's just there's not enough room at the top, and that's why they do the golden boy or whatever. Because I mean, and at the same time, like though they do it, like look at what happened to Erling Haaland. You're playing all those games at that young age, you're gonna get hurt. Phil Foden was in a boot for like 4 months this year too. So
and Erling Haaland should be on that list. I think that like if we're doing the list of like not on this list, it would be Erling Haaland would probably top that list for me. Of people that aren't on this list, Phil Foden would be on there. Bukayo would be on there. And there's not enough defenders. Like we saw, what's his name, the Portuguese defender, killing it for City last year. Ruben Diaz was incredible.
Diaz. I mean,
Marquinhos, Marquinhos, PSG. To be honest, would be nothing if Marquinhos wasn't there right now.
Yeah.
It's a skewed. You said at the beginning, like you're not into these one-man awards, specifically when it's like basically a goal-scoring award. But Marquinhos, man, I saw that dude kill it at PSG.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a center back that's getting like 20 clearances and 17 interceptions, and your team only concedes 12 goals in all competitions for the last 12 months, you're not. And it happens to fall in a World Cup year, and you won the World Cup.
And you won it, yeah.
You're not getting the nod.
I'd be interested to see what kind of Cannavaro's stats were. Obviously, they won the World Cup that year, but I'd be interested to see what his stats were, both for club and country. Because I know that I'm so biased, and I'm the first one to say it, but Di Maria won that trophy in the final, and Di Maria has been playing out of his mind this season for PSG. I mean, we both see that he's the one creating, scoring from the left, from the right, it doesn't matter where he is. He's putting balls in where they need to be at the right time to the right people at the right place. Di Maria is incredible right now for this 2021 season.
No argument there. Yeah, no argument. Yeah.
So it's just difficult. Like it's rarely a winger. You look at all these players, they play essentially at a striking role, except for I guess Messi and De Bruyne, right?
I guess you could say Mbappe too, because
Oh, yeah, he's on the left. Yeah.
is playing left
Yeah.
or vice. I'm confused, but yeah, I mean,
Mbappe is gonna get it. Mbappe is, even these last couple weeks, like it's just, if he's not scoring, he's assisting. He's just, his game is really coming together in all areas of it. He's just mentally there. He's ready. I just feel like he's gonna get it soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has been fun, Brooks, but I guess we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a popularity contest.
It kind of is, yeah. Yeah.
And it's not an MVP award. And the stats that we're looking at, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, most of them don't mean anything at all. I mean, the one stat that I think does need to count for something is the minutes played.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because the big thing they talk about is goals scored. So if you have a lower minutes played and a higher goals scored, is that what you're looking for, or do you want, because you have more goals per minute?
I mean, you could quantify it one of two ways, and I would be happy. Either minutes played, or just appearances. Make no difference. Like, just basically, because what I'm looking at here is, like, if you're playing, like, if you played 40 games and you scored 40 goals, but you got subbed out, at the 60th minute every game, you could still have a high minutes played, whereas somebody else could just start, half the games and play the full 90 minutes, and like you would relatively get the same numbers.
Yeah.
But I think there's, and this doesn't have appearances, because I think there does something like there. I mean, stats. I hate stats for this because they can tell a different story. It's like gerrymandering. It's like you could say, like, okay, like you scored 5 goals against Elche, okay, and you played 5 games, and it's like, okay, he has 5 goals in 5 games. Okay, how many goals does he have in 4 games? 0. How many does he have in 3? 0. But in 5 games, he has 5. And then you could have somebody else that maybe played all 5 games, scored a goal in each one of those games, and it got subbed off or subbed in for only a portion of the time. Who has the better stat line?
Yeah.
I'm asking. That's a genuine question. Who has the better stat line? A guy that scores 3 goals in 3 games, or a guy that scores 5 goals in 1 game? Who's the better
player? 3. For me, it's 3 and 3, because you got to have the consistency.
Here's another thing. Who's the better player? The guy that scores in the final, the guy that scores against like a top half of the team or a top half of the table team, or the guy that, like if you look at it and you're like, okay, this guy has 40 goals, but 36 of them were scored against teams that were on the bottom half of the table.
Ballon. Yeah.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
No,
I don't know who's in that boat. I'm just saying that because earlier you were talking about like Lewandowski, like who did he score his 9 club goals against?
Yeah. Did you see?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, he plays in UEFA, so I mean, he plays against Andorra, he plays against San Marino, but so does England. So does France. They all play against the same competition. Now, whether or not your
South
coach
America
says
doesn't.
Well, I mean, Bolivia. I'm trying to think.
South America gets hated on, and you're being one of those right now that can't even name the countries. But I will say this though.
No, I know. I'm trying to name bad countries.
Mbappe.
Wait. Let me clear this up. I don't want people to think. Okay, I'm trying to think of countries that don't have a high level of competition, and I'm struggling a little bit. That's why I said Bolivia, because I was going to say like Uruguay, but Uruguay is a decent team.
Absolutely. Colombia,
Colombia is a. Oh, I have all the respect in the world.
Brazil, Argentina,
they're a phenomenal team.
Yeah,
it's like Peru, Bolivia, and then all the other countries I'm thinking of are in Central America and play in CONCACAF.
Yeah. So I just want to say real quick, like, because we talked about it a little bit, the minutes played, you brought it up, like, Mbappe is like, I know that Pedri gets talked about a lot for like playing all these games, but I don't think Mbappe gets enough credit. He literally plays every single PSG game. He plays every single France game. He's the main man on both of those teams. And I think he doesn't get enough credit for that. Mbappe is a machine, and he's never hurt. Like, he had an ear infection when we were there.
Yeah.
And that's not his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not an injury.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
not an injury. Like, you get sick, that's not an injury. You get an ear infection, you get COVID, that's not your, like, we're talking ligaments and knees and
He's
ankles.
so tough, and he's playing every game at a. And no offense to Pedri, because I think Pedri's amazing and his game is great, but Mbappe's game is 90% faster than a Pedri game. It's quite a bit more physical. It's it's just so different.
That's being modest.
Yeah,
That's being modest.
so to your point of minutes, you look at here, he's behind the number one minutes played person by a minute. I don't know how that. I mean, I guess Madrid had one more minute longer game because they're on the same national team. But this Mbappe at his age, it's just he's 10 years younger than every one of these players, I think, on this list, or 8. I just think that
Who's the youngest
he's
person
actually
on this list?
he's
Kevin De Bruyne?
Mbappe. Nah.
No, I mean besides Mbappe.
Oh yeah, Dan De Bruyne. But I think that Mbappe probably. I just.
Bro, all these guys.
He's got
are in
more
their
assists
30s.
than Lewandowski. I'm gonna say Mbappe is my number 2. To be honest, I'm taking the lesser taken path right here, and saying that for me Mbappe is my number 2.
Okay.
That was a 30-minute roundabout to a number 2.
And who's your number 3? He hates Robert Lewandowski, guys.
No.
He hates him. Yo, who's your number 3?
It's just that we've said this so many times, Blaine. Like, we and I have both been like, yo, put me in the Man City lineup. Put me in the Bayern lineup. I'm scoring a goal a game. Choupo-Moting scores when he goes in.
No, hey, I agree. I agree with you, but that's not what this is about. This is about who was in there and who performed and who is, that person. It's like,
you put Mbappe in there, he's doubling Lewandowski's stats.
Yo, and I agree. And if Mbappe went to Bayern Munich, he would win the Ballon d'Or. He would win it. I agree. If Choupo-Moting got the minutes over Robert Lewandowski and his output was 40 some odd goals, he would be on this list.
Why are we the only ones talking about Ballon d'Or and Choupo-Moting in the same sentence?
Yo, because that is the reality. Like, if you put the machine behind a guy that can finish 50% of the time, he'll be on the list. Like, I mean, and then there's degrees. Like, Robert Lewandowski is definitely light years ahead of this other guy, Eric Choupo-Moting. But if Choupo-Moting started 38 games in the Bundesliga with the machine behind him, I guarantee you he would at least get 30 goals.
I think you're right. And I think that's crazy. It's so crazy.
Okay, Gnabry, Sane, Mueller, Goretzka,
Don't you
Kimmich,
dare talk
Alphonso
bad on
Davies.
Gnabry.
No, I'm saying all of these guys are the machine. They are
amazing.
feeding you. Yeah, I'm like the Coleman, Jamal Musiala, Benjamin Pavard can cross the ball. Tolisso, the French kid. Who else? They got some other young guys that are coming up in the ranks that still, I mean, for crying out loud, the guy they stole, Sabitzer from RB Leipzig, and then Dio Upamecano already has like 5 goal contributions this season. So yeah, I don't doubt he would have 30 plus goals with the machine behind him, because I would get 30 goals with that machine behind me. Like, this isn't where we get disrespectful about tap-ins or goals in the box.
Right.
That's where this is celebrated. That's what the Ballon d'Or is about.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I never thought about it.
So it's not like, yo, if he was, it's like, yo, he is there and that's why. And Ronaldo's not. And Benzema almost was. And Messi does something much different that is admittedly more valuable.
Thank you. That's, I guess, all I needed to hear.
Yeah. I mean, creating for a team, being a part of that machine, and also being a recipient of the machine itself is valuable. Yeah. But I don't think for me, that's not what this is about. Because if it was, there would be more people of that ilk and caliber on this list, and Benzema wouldn't be on here. Ronaldo
But he
wouldn't be
should
on
though.
here.
31-11 is incredible, and they used to be like there used to be a Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Ronaldo was always like, and then Neymar was like that was always like the top five.
Yeah, but like tell me like look like I mean I don't like this player at all. I don't like him at all.
Who?
Let the record show. I don't like Bruno Fernandes. Why isn't he up here? Like what? Like
I
if we're
mean, to be
talking
honest, bring
value,
up his numbers.
his numbers are fantastic. And if but then again, if we're just not talking numbers, if we're just talking about value that a player brings to a team, I will argue. Like I hate Bruno Fernandes. I
Di
will
Maria.
argue. I would argue that too. Di Maria is more valuable than a lot of these guys because, to your credit and what we both established, anybody behind the machine could have that kind, like Marco Verratti. N'Golo Kante.
Totally.
I'm still looking at Jorginho. Like, and I'm not even talking defensive players, just players that do the work to keep the ball on the other side of the field. Is like that's way more valuable than any toothpick that can put a ball in between the pegs when he gets 17 crosses from elite ball passers.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about today, people. Right now we're talking about the FIFA best and the Ballon d'Or, which is a popularity contest predicated on who had the most goal contributions and who excelled the most in their domestic and
international.
Yeah, total brain freeze.
Messy for
competitions.
Me. But that's not a
fine.
surprise.
And that's fine. And that's no surprise because that's your man's and your bias. And he also he did have a fantastic tournament. And for me, again, this isn't about value. Whether or not Barcelona did better or worse after he left has no impact for me on whether or not he deserves this award. If he deserves MVP of La Liga, sure. What's he doing for PSG? He'll do something. I don't doubt it. I hope he helps them get Champions League.
I hope too.
But when I'm talking this award and you're just looking at the numbers, and I don't think Robert Lewandowski brings any real value to Bayern Munich, but that's the man. That's the man.
He definitely brings a value to them, but they were winning without him. We will say that.
Exactly.
Dortmund has been number 2, even when they had Lewandowski.
Exactly.
And that's my message with Messi, Barcelona.
But that's not what this competition is about to me. That's not what this award is about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's my only delineation. Like if there was an award for most valuable player, now we're having a completely different conversation. And like now, Messi's still in that conversation. Mbappe's still in that conversation. For me, Benzema's still in that conversation. Lewandowski, Cristiano Ronaldo, they are no longer in that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, from like if we're doing seasons for Man U, Ronaldo's MVP. That's a fact for me. If we're doing seasons, but we're not doing that. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'll let you have final word.
No, you're right. I agree. My final word is I think it's weird that it's a calendar year, I guess. But
yeah, we agree on that. That's for sure. It's like I mean honestly, like I'll say this. I wish we could just burn this whole thing down. Stop doing this. Like UEFA did it. Like their best player was their best player. Like if you left it to UEFA, and I don't think CONMEBOL does this, but they said the best player in Europe was Jorginho. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They said the best midfielder. They said the best player was Jorginho. They said the best midfielder was Conte, and they said the best goalkeeper was Eduard Mendy, and I think they said the best striker was Robert Lewandowski. So which that is weird, but for me, if things made sense based off of that, those should be the people on this alongside the best players from South America. And like I'm not even going to be hateful. Like it should only be a competition between those like Europe, South America, and Africa. Like if we're talking like
one of each.
I'm just being real. Yeah, I'm being real. Like Heung-min Son had a great year. He ain't on no list.
No.
Like people might want to talk about Alphonso Davies, and he might be one of the best left backs in the world, top 3 for sure. But that's not what this is about. And I love both of those players. To be honest, I got jerseys for both of them. I love them both, so no hatred. I'm just keeping it real. That's all.
Yeah, but Nuno
That's all I got.
Tavares the last couple weeks at that left back spot for Arsenal was really picking
Yeah.
up the pace.
Nuno
You been watching him?
Tavares. He played today, didn't he?
He's been picking up
I
because
don't.
Tierney's hurt like usual, so he's.
I was gonna say, like, I don't remember. No, I'm confusing him with Mendez from I think
Nuno Tavares.
Let it go. Yeah, is he from Mozambique? Where's he from?
I mean, I don't know. Well, he's Portuguese.
Okay, because I was like, Tavares is a Portuguese name. That's why I said Mozambique, because they speak Portuguese, or Angola. Nuno.
He's had I mean, since he came in for Tierney, they bought him basically to like learn and like be a backup for Tierney. But Tierney's been hurt the last few weeks, and this dude he's really good, man. He's really impressive.
Oh man, I'm getting the kit, man. Okay,
you know who it is?
I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to say this, and I can't say it on camera. I might know this man. I might know this young man
In real life.
So, yeah, in real life. I gotta figure it out. Would be bad.
Tell me more.
So he's from Cape Verde.
Is he really?
For real? Yeah. Like
that's why I say he's Portuguese, but I know he's
Portuguese, like Nane. Like, remember Nani?
Yeah, stole goals from Ronaldo all day.
Cape. That's facts. Ronaldo gave him his Golden Boot award from the 2016 Euros too, because of it. Anyway, he's Cape Verdean, man. There's so many guys that play for Portugal. They're all from Cape Verde, and I don't know any of them, but I gotta go look. I might have a picture of this kid.
No way.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go
find
look,
that for next time.
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta find the old archive.
Because he was young. I mean, he's 20. He's like 23 or younger.
He's a kid.
He's
21.
21. Okay.
Born in 2000.
You probably said what's up to him.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe he just looks like somebody else. I'll look into it though. I gotta stop. Okay. Well, all right. Final thoughts, Brooks. We're at I think we're well over an hour.
This is we wanted 30 minutes. Yeah, this didn't happen.
This is out of control.
I'm good. What you can end us.
Yeah, all right, then that's it. You got the top three for both of us. Just to recap, Brooks is putting Messi, Mbappe, and did we ever get a third?
I think Lewandowski.
Oh, okay. He's not a hater. Okay.
No. I mean, slightly.
And for me, we got Lewandowski, Messi, and Benzema. So, one French, one Pole, one Argentine.
Mbappe is not even on the list.
Huh? Nah, he's not. He missed the pin, man. He missed the pin. I love you, though. I love you, Kylian. Don't worry. There's always the World Cup.
He'll get it. He's definitely getting it.
Yeah. You got, dude, like I said, everybody on this list besides him is 30. Yeah. So,
he's
as soon as next season, you could start collecting for like the next 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Assuming Haaland, returns to his form.
Him and Haaland will be Messi and Ronaldo for the next 10 years plus.
Unless they both play for Real Madrid, which is a real possibility.
Yeah.
Oof, so, scary. Yeah, dude, I might cross over if that happens. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. See me in white every week. All right, guys, that's it then. Thank you for sticking with us if you stuck with us this time. If you haven't had an opportunity yet, go ahead and head over to abrazomate.com. Get yourself... Oh.